I bet you noticed this about Slavic magic, but you never gave it a second thought. If you ever came across these rare texts that are usually preserved through poems, you can find something that I like to call Slavic verse. When I speak of Slavic verse in my course and in my upcoming book, what I mean by it is this. There are two main elements to it. So the first one is Slavic verse follows a rhyme. It was easier to remember it this way because Slavic magic was traditionally passed down through oral tradition. And the second thing is, if you look, a lot of these verses, it follows a certain formula, and the formula is as follows. If you want to get rid of something, you place great distance between you and that person. Although it was used a lot for protection and reversal magic, it could be a trait that you're trying to get rid of. Let's say that you want to get rid of your anxiety. So you have a piece of paper with your intention set, and then you say, these are not my wishes. This is not just paper and ink. These are all my fears. And then you would go on, and this could take some time, about projecting everything that your anxiety is about onto this piece of paper. And the point is that you personify it. It's like you're giving it some sort of life, right? You are projecting your anxiety onto that paper, and you're naming that paper your anxiety. So your anxiety becomes external. And then you say, I carry this piece of paper, that's actually what you said. I carry it across the 7 hills and 7 seas to the bottom of the deepest pit of the ocean, where no living thing can find it. Then you can add something like, no energy can recover it, no eyes can see it, no ears can hear it, no hand can touch it. This was a common element, just adding your senses to emphasize how unreachable this thing becomes. Now imagine that you were banishing a person. You would do the same. You would just name that piece of paper that it's actually a person, but of course then you would need a physical link, which will be a topic for entirely another video. But let's return back to the subject. And when you, let's say astrally, or like in your mind's eye, placed that paper at the bottomless pit of the ocean, this is when you want to say, and only it shall be recovered when. Here is where you put something that's physically and almost metaphysically impossible, although we know that on the astral realm nothing is beyond means. So it could be something like, when my uncle's horse lays eggs, because maybe your uncle doesn't have a horse, so it's impossible to begin with, and a horse could never lay an egg. Like, perhaps you heard of a proverb, when a willow birds the grapes, right? So this is like a standard proverb in Slavic countries, and you could use that. You could use, it will only be undone when a willow birds the grapes. This is roughly translated, and I suggest that you do this type of work in your mother's tongue if possible, especially if you're intending to do Slavic magic and you have some Slavic origins. This will give it extra potency because it was the language of your ancestors. Now, if you want to learn this in a more personal way, you can check out my bio for upcoming courses and just stick around.